Hello and welcome to Gadget Joe. This video is something a little bit different to what we normally do. Now normally I've been putting content out for reviews of products such as fans, power supplies, accessories, cases, the usual sort of stuff. Now I will be doing that still, but today I want to talk to you about everything that's going on in the world at the moment. Now it's not a video that's going to explain statistics, it's going to explain advice, it's going to explain conspiracy theories, anything like that. That's not what the intention of this video is. What the intention of this video is to try and talk about the impact that it's having on our community, the PC community. So what I've done in this video is I've done something a little bit different in the sense that I'm going to talk to you on a perspective of a reviewer, a YouTuber, a PC builder, and the impact that it's having on me. I'm also including two videos that are from other YouTube. They are on YouTube, but mainly Corey Gregory, who's from Designs by IFR, and he's an Australian PC modder. So he's going to take his impact on his side on what the impact is on that. And also I've got Andy Ruffell from eTeknix. Now eTeknix, obviously they do YouTube as well, but mostly they are a news media site. They post news, reviews, everything. And he's explaining it from his perspective. And that's basically what we're trying to do. Now, because of this whole pandemic, this coronavirus, this COVID-19, this awful thing that's going on, the whole world is effectively in lockdown. Everybody is staying at home, and obviously apart from the NHS, the care workers, the doctors, the surgeons, the key workers such as the delivery drivers, the shop workers at the supermarkets, all of those, they're staying there, and we thank them so much for what they're doing. But everybody else is staying at home. Now what they're doing while they're staying at home, apart from twiddling your thumbs and getting a bit bored, is also rekindling hobbies. So what they're actually doing is focusing on trying to get their passions going again. Gaming is a big one. Now to get back into gaming, some people already have their systems and they'll want to upgrade their systems, or somebody will want to buy a PC because they'll want to start in the hobby. And there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of frustration around that's going on with what you can order and how long it's taking to come, and that's pretty much what I want to explain today. Now it's not my normal sort of video, but it's basically a bit more informative. Now from my perspective as a reviewer, I obviously get products in to review them and then I put them out once a week, sometimes twice a week, and I'm getting less products in at the moment due to the fact that warehouses and suppliers just don't have the stock in. They're still selling it, they've still got it, you can go to companies like Scan or Overclockers or Newegg in America and all that. You can still get them and still order them, but they're taking a long time to come out. So reviewers are starting to struggle to get hold of products because they're going out to the customers. And then, so that's impacting me. I've got plenty of stuff that I can do on the channel. I've got plenty of videos that I can release on the channel while we're waiting for this pandemic to finish, for however long it takes, but it's not going to be a lot of the newer stuff. Now some of the newer stuff such as cases and motherboards and power supplies and stuff like that that's being launched soon normally gets launched at big events. Now Andy and Corey will explain this in a bit more detail in a moment, but basically they're struggling to get new products out because there's no one there to buy it. They can't have these big conventions that they go to like CES or Computex and show off the products because no one's going to them. There's no availability for anyone to actually go to a convention to be able to see the products. So launches are being pushed back. Now as a consumer looking on the point of trying to buy products, so say for example you've got a system and you want a new graphics card or you want a new keyboard or a new monitor or a case or a hard drive, then absolutely you can go to companies and order it as normal. But what you'll need to start understanding is that even though they're available on the website, they do take a little bit longer to come through. Some orders are taking weeks to come through. And there's a lot of confusion on social media, there's a lot of frustration on social media in the sense that people are saying, oh, I've ordered from this website, I've had to cancel my order because it's not available, or I ordered it and now it's not available, or anything like that. And what I need you to understand is that in this whole situation, these people that run these websites, that run these stores that you can order your parts from, they're still working. And there's most of the places don't have a lot of staff in there. And they're working and putting their lives at risk to make sure that you get the stuff that you want. And there needs to be a bit more appreciation around that, because people are ordering things thinking everything's as normal, but it's really not. Now, what would normally be a normal day for most places, we've got, say, 350 orders online, they can spend a couple of days getting that shipped out. Now they're having a skeleton staff regime, and they're basically having to spread out the time that they can deliver them, because obviously people are having to go out and physically go to places to post these products, or obviously they've got people coming to collect them and deliver them, and that's all limited as well. So basically, I know this sounds like I'm rambling on a bit, but it's just a bit of appreciation for those that work in the industry. We do hugely appreciate everything that you do. It's not just us reviewers. We do basically what most people see on the front line, effectively, in the sense of we review the products, we show you the products. But the people that sell it, the people that manufacture it, the people that design it, the people that promote it, the people that make the products, they're the ones that are doing the real hard work, and they're the ones that need the appreciation right now. It's not going to stop YouTube happening. It's not going to stop content coming out. It's just going to change the kind of content that's coming out, the kind of reviews that are available. It's going to mean that a lot of the more exciting product launches, they will still happen, but they might be more delayed. And also, if you are a part of the industry and you want to start building up for your PC and spending more time on the computer, understand that servers are getting stressed out because there's more demand. Understand that suppliers are struggling because there's more demand. Most products are actually made in China and then shipped out across the world, exported across the world. So with that being the main, not source of a problem, but being the main point of most of the manufacturers, that's why we're struggling to get hold of stuff. It's also a very important point noticing is that a lot of these companies that produce the products, Razer is one of them, and there's a few others that I'll link in the video, I'll show up as I'm talking now. They've actually stopped production of a lot of their products, and they've turned their factories, their warehouses, into production lines, essentially for PPE, the protective gears, the masks, the clothes, the face shields, etc. Razer, again, like I mentioned before, they're actually doing ventilators, and because of this, again, production is going to be limited. Now that's basically it from my perspective. So I'm going to start to wrap it up now. It's already a bit of a long video, and it's going to be a bit longer with Corey and Andy saying their piece. It's a bit of a difficult video to really sort of express everything that's going on. It's just hopefully going to expand your horizons on the awareness of what's going on in the industry, the effect that this virus is having on the industry, and hopefully give you a bit more respect to be able to give to the suppliers and the stores and the manufacturers, etc. Now I'm going to pass you on first to Andy Ruffell, and he'll say his piece. Once that's finished, it will then go to Corey, and then he'll say his piece, and that will be it from then. Please, please, if you're going to take anything from this, take the fact that you need to stay safe, stay inside, respect the rules, and also enjoy your hobby. Still enjoy everything that you're doing. Take part in everything that you're doing. The creativeness that's coming out of this pandemic, because people are bored, people have got nothing to do, is beyond amazing. In fact, some of the most amazing mods are coming out of this. Some of the most amazing builds and the most amazing ideas are coming out of this because people are bored, they've got more time to spend on it. So don't let it stifle your creativity. That's it from me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Hey everyone, Andy Ruffell from eTeknix.com. Now, first and foremost, I want to thank Joe for having me on his channel. He wanted me to sort of go through, I guess, a few things as to what's going on in the world in terms of the pandemic, how it's kind of affecting, I guess, me as a business, as a YouTuber, all that kind of stuff, and what my general thoughts are on the industry as a whole and what it means to consumers. So I guess really I'm quite in a lucky situation. I'm a YouTuber, but I also run eTeknix.com. So with eTeknix.com, we're still able to publish news about what's going on, about new product releases, speculation, rumors, especially when it comes to AMD, Intel, Nvidia and Ampere graphics cards and so forth. So we still have the ability to do that. When it comes down to reviews on the website and also on the YouTube side of things, it's a little bit different because you have to remember a lot of these companies out there, the products that they actually manufacture are made in China. With everything that kind of affected China first, all of the factories kind of closed down and well, you know, that's had a little bit of a knock-on effect when it comes to samples because there's no point reviewing something if it's not going to be available to buy. Now, there are a few companies who've managed to somehow, I guess, get around this. So you've probably even seen on the YouTube channel and on eTeknix.com, we've had reviews from Corsair with their new Dark Core RGB mouse. We've had cases and coolers from Fractal Design. So it hasn't affected, I guess, everyone. But what that actually means is that you guys aren't actually able really to go out there and buy these products. So things have slowed down a little bit on that front. When it comes to the YouTube side of things, I've tried to, I guess, be as proactive and productive as I physically can in terms of trying to create content that is a little bit different to our norm. Purely because with the lockdown, I can't get my normal videographer and editor here to actually film the normal videos that we do with our high-spec Blackmagic 6K camera. So instead I've had to be a little bit kind of inventive. So what I've been doing is live streams, sort of Monday to Friday at 10 o'clock on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/eTeknix. And it started as a way of kind of giving me a little bit of a purpose, as well as kind of giving me some content to push out there to you guys. But what I actually found is it really did bring in the community together, and the amount of people sort of in the live chat and everything on these live streams has been phenomenal. They've been helping each other out with kind of buying decisions and technical support, and then even just venturing over to sort of our Discord channel. There's a huge sort of group of people on there who have really sort of got involved with that whole community spirit, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Now, there has been some other kind of, I guess, knock-on effects. I normally go to Computex at the end of May, beginning of June. That's now been postponed to September. The problem is, and I love Taiwan as a place, it's my favourite place to go in the world when I do go on these trips, I don't actually even think I'm going to be going to it in September. And I've heard exactly the same from other media outlets. And you have to remember that a lot of companies are coming to us asking if we're going. If we're not going, there's no point them going. If they're not going, there's no point us going. So I'm probably even going to give that a miss, which is a real shame. Along with that, normally that's the place where we see big sort of launches. So maybe even Nvidia with their new Ampere graphics cards, maybe AMD with 4th gen, maybe Intel with something. It's just not happening now. So what does that mean for the kind of the state of new products coming out in the future? Well, that means that they're probably not even going to hit until next year, maybe CES in January. It's just kind of, a really weird, up in the air kind of thing at the moment. No one quite knows what's going on. It's affecting countries individually in many, many different ways. One good thing that I can see is that everything that happened to China, if you ignore the mainstream media and actually have contacts in China, you will realise that they're starting to ramp production up again, opening up the factories and getting back on their feet. And what I'm hopeful for really is that by the time that's all sorted, we're all be coming out of, I guess, the lockdown in the Western world. I know certain countries are in front of others like Italy, and America is obviously behind us. So maybe it's going to affect them sort of, at a later date, but things I'm hoping should line up quite nicely. We'll kind of have to wait to see what happens, I guess. But for me at the moment, it's just about producing as much content as I physically can so that it's not one step forward, 2 steps back when it comes to YouTube numbers and things like that. Luckily, because more and more people are at home and more people are gaming, it's actually given us quite a healthy dose of extra views on YouTube and extra traffic on the website. So I'm thankful for everyone there. Just to put that into perspective as well, I've had a lot of friends actually come to me and ask for me to build them a gaming PC because they're sitting at home, going a little bit stir crazy. Their kids are driving them nuts, and they want to join that glorious PC master race. So it's been an interesting one to see it from kind of many different angles. So there you go. That's just kind of my thoughts on what's happening at the moment, kind of what's happened and what's potentially going to happen in the future. And let us know, in the comments section, what do you guys think is going to happen? Do you agree with me, or do you think it's going to get worse? Is it going to get better? What's kind of the current situation, and what have you done to kind of keep yourself occupied during all this? Again, I want to thank you to Joe for having me on his channel. Great channel, love the content and everything, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I will see you all in the next video. See you later, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.
G'day guys, my name is Corey. I'm from the Designs by FR YouTube channel. We're an Australian-based YouTube channel, and we primarily deal in the designing and creating of custom water-cooled PCs. Joe actually reached out and wanted us to do a bit of a talk on how the coronavirus has affected our business in making custom PCs and also from a tech YouTuber perspective. So firstly, I'd like to thank Joe for having me on his channel. So I wrote a bit of a short list, some dot points on what I wanted to say. There is a few more that obviously I'm gonna miss out, but hopefully these are the main ones that we'll cover for you guys. So from the YouTube side of things, what we are seeing is because the coronavirus is going around, there's a lot of economic downfall. That means that a lot of companies don't have budgets for ads on YouTube as well. So there's going to be less ads served on the videos. And that's primarily how we make a lot of our money. So with less ads, that means we get paid less. Therefore, we can't do our job properly. Now, another thing that goes hand in hand with this is if we are trying to do sponsored content and things like that, a lot of brands these days don't have the marketing budget anymore because there's been no manufacturing, which means they're not able to get product out, which means they're not making money. Therefore, they have to use all of their marketing budget trying to get all their products over from China, which currently are closed. They're not doing any shipping, any manufacturing. So a lot of companies are struggling. So there's no money for any sponsored content. That's another reason why YouTubers in the tech space would be having a tough time right now. Major events in the tech industry, such as Computex and PAX and things like that, are all getting closed and shut down. Now, I can speak on behalf of myself and a lot of other bigger YouTubers out there. A lot of them make almost 40% of their year's income from events like this. So with those major events being closed, they're not getting income from that either. So it's hard for them to keep on top of their channel and keep their normal costs going. So they have to take cuts here and there to try and sustain a good wage and income. Now onto the PC modding side of things. So for me, the shutdown of the major events like Computex and PAX also impacts me from a PC modding standpoint because we're commissioned to do builds to put on display for all of the different vendors that join the events. So with all of them being shut down, that means we no longer have any work. Another major issue is that because China had shut down, that means manufacturing's not coming and we're not getting any parts in so we can keep doing these builds. So the YouTube and the PC modding go hand in hand with a lot of these points. Now, being a PC modder, we actually deal a lot with different materials and we need to buy them in bulk. And what's happening is a lot of companies are dealing in US dollars. Now, because the Australian dollar has fallen so much because of the coronavirus, all of the prices of these materials have gone up because it costs so much for, all of these places to buy in bulk. So it's costing us more money to purchase the materials and we're earning less from the job. And one last major point that I wanted to touch on from both a YouTuber standpoint and a PC modding standpoint is that there is delay on product launches. There has been a few that have been delayed, which were, due for early this year. And also because China hasn't been operating and they're not making, the new computer cases and things like that, obviously we're not keeping up to date with the latest stuff and there's nothing available here. So it's really impacting a lot more than people know. And these are just a few points that I could come up with off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a lot more, but I want to keep this short and sweet. I want to thank Joe for having me on the channel and I hope you all enjoyed this little talk. And hopefully it gives you guys a bit of an idea of, what's happening in the online space. Hopefully you guys are staying safe, keep your hands clean, and hopefully you guys aren't suffering too much from what is happening around the world.